Hi, I'm Emily, and I'm going to share my recipe for the perfect chocolate cake. We're going to start by mixing cocoa powder with boiling water. Use a whisk, or a fork if you don't have one, and stir it together until it's completely smooth. Then leave it to cool until it comes to room temperature. Next, we're going to cream the butter and the sugar. Make sure the butter is at room temperature, otherwise it won't fluff up nicely. Quick trick to bring the butter to room temperature is to put it in the microwave for 10 seconds, then flip it over and microwave it for another 10 seconds. Start with your mixer on low and slowly increase it to medium-high. Beat the butter until all of the sugar has been incorporated and the butter is nice and fluffy. Now add the eggs 2 by 2, mixing for about 30 seconds in between each addition. Scrape down to the bottom of the bowl with a spatula after every addition, just to make sure that everything's getting mixed together. Add the vanilla and mix everything together for a few seconds. Now we're going to get the dry ingredients ready. When you measure your flour, make sure your cups are perfectly level. The amount of flour really matters, and just a tablespoon can make a big difference. When you've measured out all of your ingredients, you're going to sift them into a big bowl. Sifting is really important because it takes out any of the lumps and it also incorporates lots of air into the batter. We're going to add half of the flour mixture into the mixing bowl and mix it on the lowest speed just to incorporate it into the batter. Now we're going to add half of the cocoa powder mixture. Super important, use the lowest speed setting on your mixer. I remember the first time I used a 6-quart mixer for this recipe. I made a batch far too big for the mixer, and when I added the cocoa powder mixture, I turned the speed to high. Brown, gunky liquid went everywhere. Use a spatula to scrape down to the bottom of the bowl to incorporate any butter stuck down there. Mix until all of the batter is the same shade of brown. Add the rest of the flour mixture. Mix it all together and scrape down to the bottom of the bowl, and then the rest of the cocoa powder mixture. The reason for adding them half at a time is because if you add all of the flour, it will get quite tough while you add the cocoa powder. And if you add all of the cocoa powder first, it will curdle because it's too liquid. Mix until all of the batter is the same shade of brown. Now we're ready to bake the cake. Line your pans with parchment paper, which you can either cut out of a roll of parchment paper or buy in pre-cut circles. Spray a little bit of oil on the base of the cake pan and stick the parchment to it. Then spray all over the base and sides of the cake pan so the cake won't stick to it. Weigh the batter to get the right amount for each pan, using the measurements on the recipe on my website. Bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Follow the baking time on the recipe, and when you think it's cooked, put a toothpick in the center. If it comes out clean, the cake's done. Use a spatula to loosen the cake from the pan and turn it upside down onto a wire rack. Leave it to cool and then frost it and decorate it into something fabulous using one of my tutorials. Please tag British Girl Bakes so I can see your creations. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more cake tutorials every week.